Hello and welcome back to my veg garden. Today I'm going to be straining off the fermented plant juice that we made last week. So as you can see, it's made a bit of liquid. So I'm going to pull the rock out. That's job one. Just jump the rock out and then just make sure you keep a lot of the liquid in before you pull the rock out, like don't lose any. And then you want a funnel or the top of a bottle, which I'm using, and a bit of material, and you're just going to tip your jar upside down on that and then give it like a few taps, just so that like the top of the jar is empty, so it doesn't topple over too easy. So this was just nettles. You could even just leave it like that, to be honest. Just give this a bit of a wiggle out of the jar. So this batch is a mix, just nettles, but the other batch is got a lot of different plant material in it. The first batch, but I'll be mixing them into the base jar. So as you can see, it makes quite a thick brown coloured liquid, and it should just seep through. It smells quite sweet. It shouldn't smell off. This one has got a bit of mould on it, but I think that's just from where the rock was, and it is a bit warm. But I think that's just part of the fermentation process has gone a bit off. So if I just pack that in there, that should I'll allow that to stand for overnight, and then by tomorrow I should have some nice thick fermented plant juice. Now, I've been asked about whether it attracts insects. Now, I'm not sure whether it does, but I think it may, because it's made with sugar and it's quite a sweet smelling product. It might attract. Can't guarantee it until I use it, because it's my first time making it, these two batches. But I will try and find out. But otherwise it's looking quite good. And just for me to make it clear, Nigel Palmer inspired me to make these, and Hugh Richards. I saw Hugh's video and then I bought Nigel's book, and it's a really good read if you want to read it. It's The Grower's Guide to Soil Amendments, I think. But it's a really good book. It's full of information, and I mean, you know, look at that, that was free. Apart from the brown sugar and a bit of thyme, anything's possible. So I've strained my fermented plant juice off, and as you can see, it's a really thick brown liquid. Now, it looks quite thin when I shake it back and forward, but when it's like dripping, it drips really slow, like syrup, you know. It's like the consistency of like syrup, or like a wood varnish, something like that. It's really sticky, so try and keep it off the edges of your glass, otherwise when it dries it's gonna make a mess. So your best bet is just to have a rag afterwards and just wipe it all down clean, so that your outside of your jar is like a nice clean jar. You want to dilute it at 1 to 1,000 for foliar sprays and young seedlings, or 1 to 500 for adult plants, and when you're using it as like a feed just to the base of the plant. So your best bet is to use either like a syringe for like medication for children, or a little, like, you know, the medicine spoons. And what you want to do is you want to put 1 part of this to 500 parts water, and then feed that on your plants, and you'll see a difference in a few days. But it's really strong stuff. I'll be making more of this in the future. This was a mix of dock leaves I put in here, and then the first batch had everything in it, like parsley, sage, rosemary, mint even, docks, buttercups, bit of garlic leaf, a couple of brassicas, just anything I was like passing as I was walking around the garden really, and I just shoved it in a jar with a bit of sugar. So yeah, you can use any leaf. Different leaves have different like mineral concentrations, so like nettles would have a higher amount of, like, say, nitrogen, but your best ones are probably docks and nettles, because they, you know, they grow everywhere here in the UK wild, just like weeds. So, you know, you can use, like, repurpose a weed to use as a feed, if you like. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.